Yo, what's up everyone? This is simply a live stream I did today with the Trading Mastery Discord. It's where I post a lot of my content and I do weekly, actually two live streams weekly for basically the members where they feel free to ask questions, chart requests. We go over what all look for the week and so on. And just before we get into it, I just want to tell you guys, if you guys want to join, I would love to see you in there looking to, get along with serious traders and look to improve and learn together. So if you want to join, link will be below in the description. Love to see you guys in there. But with that being said, feel free to enjoy the rest of this live stream. Bitcoin, and then I'll go into Ethereum. And if you have any questions or chart requests along the way, feel free to ask them. So with that being said, let's get started with Bitcoin here. We have a bit to go over here. So basically the previous week, what I was looking for was basically 4-hour 200s, so 200 EMA, 200 MA, basically to hold as support and continuation higher. I discussed this in the live stream earlier on. What basically happened here was people were trying to front run the test of this 4-hour 200s here. If you took a look at open interest, you could see everybody was trying to pile in all the way down to here, flushed them all out, and then quickly reclaimed the trend once again, as well as reclaiming the 1-hour 200s. So basically over here, flip bullish and basically said, hey, look, we got to look for a move higher here. All trends are reclaimed. Everything looks good. And we got that continuation higher here. Now, I forget if I posted, I did post this in the Discord as well. Right around here, this price action here, I was looking at 15-minute 200s, basically the low time frame trend here. And I mentioned that I saw a few warning signs. So basically a few of them would have been, if you took a look at Ethereum's open interest, you could see that it was basically at all-time highs. And Ethereum hadn't even reclaimed its high time frame, basically resistance level. And open interest was already at all-time highs, so everybody was trying to pile in and take advantage of the move. And normally that does not work out. And if you took a look at Bitcoin's open interest as well, you could see basically all the way through here, a bunch of degens on Bybit were trying to long the bottom, catch the bottom, which obviously didn't work out. So basically, after we lost 15-minute 200s here, what I did is I basically said, hey, look, we lost the low time frame trend. We're probably going to see a pullback into the higher time frame trend, which is 1-hour 200s. So as you can see, got the pullback here, and we got a decent reaction higher. And then right here, I also made another post. I forget if I posted it in the Discord, but I did post it on X. Basically, low time frame trend test here, reclaim, we go higher, rejection, we go lower. And it was a rejection, failed to reclaim it, continuation lower, and we are now trading below the 1-hour 200s. So from here, what I'm looking for, I did also mention here really quick, I want to mention this, basically losing 1-hour 200s, I basically said, I think we're in for a bit of basically possibly a summer range here. For the past 2 years, if you zoom out here, we have rallied into June, which right here. So we rallied into June and then we sold off and basically ranged for the remainder into Q4 before ultimately basically rallying higher. If you go here previously as well, we rallied into June, consolidated, basically sold off, ranged remainder of the year into Q4 before continuation higher. So previous 2 years we did that. If this year is going to be the same, what we are looking for here, simply rally into June, we sell off, we consolidate into Q4 before rallying higher. That's if it's going to run the same playbook back as the previous 2 years. So I was looking for continuation higher here, but now that we have broken down below trends, I'm a little bit more bearish because if the market was truly bullish, so a lot of times, this is going on a little rant here, but you need to try interpreting what the market is trying to tell you. So what does this move here tell you? Okay. So we were extremely bullish here. Basically we reversed this, pushed higher here. And if Bitcoin was truly bullish and we were going to see a breakout higher, we should not have given you any sort of necessarily any pullback here. And the fact that we have given this basically slow bleed price action lower here and failure to hold even the low time frame trend and the higher time frame trend It basically gives you some warning signs that the market isn't as bullish as you think, or at least Bitcoin, and we could basically be seeing the beginning of a range forming. Now, granted, we are within a higher time frame range currently, but this could be the beginning, in my opinion, of a higher time frame range, basically a summer range forming where we range until Q4 and then rally higher. Now, what I do want to show you though is the 4-hour 200s, which previously we are in this area. So I did say last week 6-hour 200s is pretty clean as well, and I was looking at. So here's what I want to say really quick. 4-hour 200s, 6-hour 200s, kind of the same general area in here. If we are going to continue higher, basically your last hope is this. We have a higher low formed somewhere in this region before continuation higher. If you're a bull, this is what you want to see. Basically the area between 106 and 102 hold, and then see continuation higher. Because if you zoom out here, or if we just stay on the 4-hour time frame here, actually we get the 4-hour time frame here. So if we do this here, zoom out a bit, this structure does not look very healthy. The fact that we rallied basically into a new all-time high here, sold off into higher time frame trends, bounced, but then put in what looks to be a potential lower high. Yeah, does not look very bullish, especially if we cannot hold. If we come down, trade down to here, and start breaking down here, then we're likely going to have a pretty quick move, in my opinion, down to about $92,000. So as a bull, this is your last hope, in my opinion, that we hold this area here. Whoops, wrong total here. Essentially here to here. Ideally right here. This is what you want to see if you're a bull. So that would mean reclaiming 1-hour 200s, getting back above 15-minute 200s, which would be around here, and looking for that continuation higher. But at the moment, we have just broken down below 1-hour 200s. So what I would say as far as looking for trade setups here, a lot of what you want to stick to if we are going to be ranging is bidding at high risk reward areas in the future here. So you don't want to be bidding mid-range or taking trades around mid-range necessarily. You want to stick to those lower time frame trades and areas where there's basically a high risk to reward. So what I'm interested in here is honestly not interested in any longs necessarily unless we see price do this. So what I want to see, 15-minute 200s reclaimed, 1-hour 200s reclaimed, and then I can look at taking a potential high, pretty high risk reward setup here, targeting new all-time highs. Now, that's one trade. The other trade is simply, honestly, looking at trading low time frames. I'm looking at basically developing my low time frame trading system. Working on that right now, seeing if I can get a decent edge on low time frames. But other than that, as far as higher time frame trades, nothing that I'm really interested in. Because what I do think is going to possibly play out here is, okay, let's talk about this in a second. But high time frame range, and we basically range between 109 and $90,000 area, with maybe sometime this summer deviation below, and then rally to new highs ideally. Maybe we spend some time in here, break down, sell off here, so on, get back above. Now that's way out in the future, of course, but honestly, that's what I feel like is possible, simply because of the fact that the previous 2 years we have done the exact same thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do that a third year in a row. Now, here's another, I forgot to talk about this as well, but if you're a bull, here's another argument for you. Monday range, we have Monday low, weekly open here. So if we sweep it, you do have that potential to run back higher. That could provide, actually, yeah, honestly, here's what you want to look for. If you're looking for a long position, bidding right in here probably. You want to see a quick sweep, get back above, run higher. Because if we close below Monday low yet, that point is it's just cooked in my opinion, and it's gonna sell off lower. Yeah, hopefully that kind of went over what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Basically, hold if you're a bull. You want to see this area hold 105 to 102 for continuation higher, but really not an area I'm too interested in longing unless we get a reclaim of 1 hour 200s and 15-minute 200s trend. Until then, I'm just kind of trading low time frames and looking to avoid the chop because I do think it is possible we have a summer range. So that's basically all I have for Bitcoin. See if there's anything else I should cover here. I mean, essentially, okay, let me cover the levels lower here, basically. So if we do actually start breaking down here, essentially $100,000 would be your first support level here. And then after that, you're likely going to see a move into the $95,000 to $96,000 level. If I also draw out this for you guys, fixed range volume profile, I'll just show you this here. There we go. So this is where the most volume is traded. Right here in the center also lines up with basically daily 200s. So break down below here, we're likely going to get a sell-off into this region where maybe that holds as support or we sell off further into mid-range here. Daily 200s though, not too much. Normally it does hold as support, but recently they've kind of been chopped up. So if you wanted to pay attention to maybe 12-hour 200s, yeah. So 12-hour 200s looks pretty decent here, which also lines up with that $96,000 area I was talking about. But yeah, ideally what we see happen, sweep, get back above, rally higher. If you're a bull, that's exactly what you want to see. But at the moment, trends have broken down here, so I am, respecting that. Okay, so let's go into Ethereum here. Take a look at ETH. Okay, so essentially what we were looking for was 4-hour 200s over here to hold as support, continuation higher into new highs. Exactly what happened into 2850 here, which I mentioned multiple times was very strong high time frame resistance. And if we were going to get above that level, I was targeting $3,200 area. So we did run up into this high time frame resistance. I made a post on X, and I think I shared it in the Discord as well. Right around the same time, basically saying, hey, Ethereum open interest is going pretty crazy. People are trying to long the absolute shit out of this right into high time frame resistance. If this starts to unwind, it could, not turn out the greatest. So over here, price started to sell. As long as price, basically with open interest, as long as price is going higher, longs are going to be fine. As long as price is not putting too much pressure on them, they'll be fine. Price will continue higher until it gets to a point where they're starting to get pressured. As you can see, start to get pressured, and then finally, bam, stops them all out. So what you see here is simply price finding acceptance back into the previous range. We do have actually basically Monday high here. So yeah, honestly, price traded above, deviation now. That price has found acceptance back below. Really the only bullish thing for Ethereum has going for it is this 4-hour 200 trend and the fact that it could put in a higher low. That's what you want to see. So if you want to see a reclaim of $2,800, you want to see basically 25 to 2,600 hold as support as a higher low before continuation higher. Because if something like this plays out, where you break down below this trend yet here, this does not look very good. Basically, you have a deviation above range highs. You start to break down below range lows. We're going to pretty quickly sell off to this $2,100 level. Which is basically your high time frame support level. So essentially, for continuation higher, you need to see the $2,600 to $2,500 area hold. And as long as that area holds, it can continue to target higher. Now, the context has changed. Instead of just running higher, you now have a deviation above range highs. So, yeah, it is something to keep in the back of your mind because that is not the most bullish sign. A lot of times when price does this, consolidates for a while, breaks it out above into a high time frame resistance, deviates back below. A lot of times it's pretty cooked for a while, honestly. And a lot of times that's on altcoin charts. Ethereum has been showing a decent amount of strength, honestly, which is why I do think it has a possibility to hold here. If Bitcoin can find a bottom and just start to consolidate, and Ethereum actually basically only sells off into this region, then I do think possibly it has a chance at running higher here, even while Bitcoin consolidates, to be honest. But yeah, it's not going to do that when basically you have everybody trying to long into high time frame resistance. Ethereum open interest was literally at an all-time high, which is pretty crazy. Anyway, just a TLDR, basically, you need to see a higher low form here for continuation higher, break down below there, and you're going to see a move into $2,100. Pretty simple. And yeah, as far as targets, reclaim 2,800, 3,200 is your next target. All right, that's all I have for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pretty simple update today, nothing too complicated. Yeah, just keep your trades to, don't overtrade, I would say. In these conditions, and especially how Bitcoin is trading, you want to keep your trades to high risk reward areas and not trying to bid small moves within like this price action here. The time to take bets are places like here, as far as swing long positions. Here, I mean, this deviation here was a good opportunity. Even here on lower time frame trends. What you don't want to be doing is basically just bidding mid-range here, in my opinion. The risk reward isn't necessarily there. Okay, any altcoins you want me to cover? Tell you what, I'll go over Fartcoin. I'll just cover this real quick. Okay, so basically for Fartcoin, it's pretty simple. We got deviation into demand, which marked the bottom, continuation higher, and basically 4-hour 200s is your trend to be watching. So you have 4-hour 200s, but something else to keep in mind here is the fact that this looks like a potential. Take a look at this trend, lower low, possibly higher low. Something to keep in mind. Now, 4-hour 200s though, you can see this here. Support entire way up, resistance below. So now this is what you want to see. If you believe Bitcoin and Ethereum are headed higher over the next couple weeks, this is honestly the highest risk reward trade you're going to get. Because if Bitcoin breaks out into new all-time highs, Fartcoin is going to absolutely rip. Stop loss somewhere in this region here. I mean, Fartcoin could run, in my opinion, all the way to new all-time highs. That's the setup I would be looking at. Now, the fact that Bitcoin is below 1-hour 200s does not have me that confident. But if you want to put some risk on, this is what I would be basically putting risk on with Fartcoin here. Lower time frame trends though for Fartcoin line up exactly with 4 hour 200s as well. So 1 hour 200s, as you can see, resistance on the way down, and now hopefully flipping into support. So honestly, if you're going to take any trade right now, even above bidding Bitcoin or Ethereum, Farcoin is the setup to take right now if you believe Bitcoin and Ethereum are going higher in the next few weeks. Simply because, as you can see, it performed very well. 78% move from the bottom. It's just, honestly, it just has the most mind share right now, and as long as it continues to outperform, this is the altcoin that I'm most interested in. But yeah, if you lose this area though, at that point, probably getting some chop at that point. Yeah, 4 coin longs Maverick. I don't like what Bitcoin's doing. I do think we could be in for a bit of chop, to be honest. But Bitcoin does have potential here if it can form essentially a higher low. And if it does that, I believe Farcoin is going to outperform everything else. Just my thoughts. So essentially, instead of bidding Bitcoin here, if you're bullish Bitcoin or Ethereum, I would bet on Farcoin. Sounds crazy to say, but what kind of market are we in where instead of bidding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the best looking coin is a coin named Farcoin? Pretty crazy market we're in. Probably also the reason nobody takes this market seriously. Oh my. This recording. And make sure you tune in next week for the next one as well. I'll do a live stream on Monday and Thursday, hopefully, as long as everything goes well. So see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace.